Hello, Sandra. I'm
Hello.
so happy. I'm so happy to have you on the interview today. Our topic today is very interesting, and it would be about business. It's very related to the economy right now. We going to hit the recession, and so share.
Hmm.
I would love to hear about your journey when starting your business. Where did you start it, and your background?
Okay. Thank you for having me, boy. So I started my business. Let me take you way back. I started my business in 2006. So in 2004, I had a son, and I was working in corporate, from 8 to 5, um, sometimes even 8 to 7, 8 to 8. So I had a son in 2004, and you know, dealing with babies and daycares, I thought to myself, "Well, how are people managing? I mean, I can hardly manage because I have a full time job and I have a full time. I'm a full time mother. How are people managing?" And during that time, a colleague of mine left. I was working for a multi-billion dollar conglomerate, a number of companies. I was in charge of 5 companies as the senior accountant, and I thought, wow, this is a lot. Um, so a colleague of mine had left, and she said, come out, come and let's partner up, let's start our own business. And I thought, well, I'm not really, business owner, entrepreneur. Um, People in my family, I'm not aware of anyone really that has started their own business. We went to school, we went to college, we went to university, we had a job, and that was it. So after a while, I thought, wow, this is, I was still at my corporate job, and I thought, wow, this is a lot because I'm dealing with these companies and I'm dealing with, family life. And I thought, wow, okay, so, maybe I'll, take the chance. And, I set a plan that on the 1st of August, 2006, I was gonna take the leap. So yeah, I literally said, first of August 2006. Um, so and my anniversary is coming up. It's July 27th. So I thought, okay. So I planned. I told my employer. I told my team, and I sort of prepared. Um, and the good thing was when I left in 2006, 1st of August 2006, the company hired me back as a consultant. So that was one good thing because I had no clients.
Mm.
I literally had no clients. So I was an employee on 31st of July 2006, and on 1st of August 2006, I was in business. And I thought, okay, what do I do now? What happens now? Because no one sort of prepares you that, okay, this is it. You're now yes, you're the CEO, you're the owner, you're the business owner, you're also, the marketer, you're also the
Yeah, you
you're
wear a
also the
lot of
IT
hats.
guy. You wear a lot of hats. And one good thing, as I said, was that the company hired me back. And I was very strategic in that because they
Mm.
asked me, how much did I want for my consultancy? And I put in my mortgage and I put in my car note. And that was it. Everything else that I wanted, I had to go out and get clients.
Mm.
So yeah, so I said, listen, give me this figure, and that covered my mortgage and that covered my car note. And if I needed to eat, I need to go and find clients. So,
Mm.
and that was in the day, not before the internet because the internet was there, but it wasn't as established as it is now. So I literally started my business pounding the pavement, right? I had business cards. I set up a day. Wednesdays was my marketing day. So I would go into the town area, into the village, and I would give them my business cards. And I literally did that, built my business one client at a time, pounding the pavement with brochures, with business cards, and my business got started that way. So that's really how I started, my
Wow.
accounting and consulting firm in 2006.
Yeah, so that's when the internet or social media platform are not popular. Were not
Correct.
popular. So
Correct.
you need to go to events or knock in people's door in order to
Mhm.
give your card or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. So
Wow.
I had business cards. I remember ordering, I think it was 500 business cards and brochures. And I would, we have phone books, yeah, for anybody watching, the phone book. So we'd have phone
Mm,
books, and I would look through the phone book, and I would select, some corporate entities, and I would put a brochure in an envelope, and that was Wednesdays. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday,
mm,
and Friday, I was working, and Wednesday all day I was either in town doing going, because because I live in a small town, the just going into the village and even shopping, people would say, "Oh, I haven't seen you for a while. What are you doing?" And I would say, "Oh, I'm doing this, and here's my business card." Right. So
mm,
that is really how. In fact, my very first client, um, he actually hired us. Well, hired me in that time. Hired me because he saw my brochure.
yeah.
I had no idea who he was, and the brochure just went into the mail, and he called me, and that is how I was his. He was my client for maybe 2 or 3 years. So that was my
Mm,
very first client. Yeah, that was before social media. Um, I can't remember when Facebook started, but yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah, so that's really how I
yeah.
started. Yeah.
Yeah. And like is that when 2006 you had the first client in 2006 after you open your company?
Yes, yes.
And
So in 2006, my employer hired me back as a consultant for about
mm,
6 months, and I also got that very first client in
mm,
2006 as well.
mm.
So I had two clients in
That's a
2000,
good start.
2006, and then I built up slowly, because word
Mm,
started getting out. Because where I used to work, it was a massive, a big conglomerate multinational. So the people that come from there, they know what they're doing. They're efficient. They're very effective. So word started getting around that I was open for business, and that's really how I started getting clients one by one, one by one.
yeah.
So the olden way, the old days.
Yeah. And you did it like first it's only you are the owner, and also you do all the work in the business, like
Mhm.
one person business. And then after two years later, that's 2008, that's when the crisis, economic crisis.
Yes.
So how did you survive that period?
So by 2008, I had five, I think it was about 5 members of staff.
Mm,
And we had just I was partnering up with, well, it was two separate companies, but we came together, and we got a lease, and we had a massive office, and we had
mm,
furniture, and we had, everything in this massive office. And I had 5 members of staff, and then 2008 hit. So it was, oh my God, what is happening? And when 2008 hit, I wasn't, when you work for someone else, you're not really conscious of, oh, there's a
mm,
recession happening, because you're still getting your paycheck, right?
yeah.
So 2008 hit, and I thought, wow. So, I tried to keep it going. I tried to keep it, business going. And I saw clients literally closing their doors. They would call me, and they would say, and at that time we had, you know, a good amount of clients, small business clients. We had a couple
Mm,
of large companies, but mostly small business clients. So when that happened in 2008, it was, Sandra, I can't make it anymore. I'm going to close. And I thought, okay, that's one person. And then another person, and they would say, oh, don't come in because, we're thinking of closing. And I thought, oh my God, what is it? It was like the world was just crumbling.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to lay off anybody because everyone else started drifting off in that, one person, migrated, another person got a job at, a bank, so in the
Mm.
end, I was left with, just me and another person, and which was, kind of good because I didn't have to lay off anyone. So, so and then I thought, oh wow, this is crazy. What are we gonna do? So I literally had to pack up and go home because we couldn't afford the lease.
Mm.
I had hundreds of thousands of dollars in furniture. I'm literally sitting in the furniture right now. But I had
Mm.
hundreds of, mahogany desks and credenzas and secretarial desks and file cabinets, huge. And I thought, wow, and we're still paying a loan for that as well as
Mm.
a lease that we couldn't afford. And I thought, well, listen, I got to do something. So, I eventually packed up and set up at home for a few years. And, we had to give up the office and we put our furniture in storage, because we're still paying that loan for it. Um, and, we just had to manage, just had to manage a crisis in 2008, 2009. Um, Eventually things started to sort of turn around, and but I still had my home office. I was still working from home because my profession, which is good in
Yeah.
that it's just me and my laptop, right? And the other person eventually left, so it went from me from here to there and then back down. So it felt
Yeah.
like if I was starting over again because
Yeah.
again it was just me and my laptop. And
Mm.
I thought, okay, this, something has to give. And during that time when I was at home, I started right. I said, listen, I need to start over. Um, so in 2008, I started going to conferences, getting certified, as in business coaching, life coaching. So I started, instead of drawing back, and I think a lot of
Mm.
people draw back, I started putting a lot more into my marketing, into
Mm.
increasing my skills because I thought, okay, people are just closing their doors. How are we going to help these people? Um, so I traveled numerous times a year to get certified, to attend conferences, to network.
Mm.
And I distinctly remember when Facebook started and started exploding. I thought to myself, my goodness, there's nobody around my area that I know that's on Facebook because majority of my friends came from when I traveled. So I had, when I went to conferences and classes, and San Diego and Las Vegas, whatever. All of my Facebook friends were from there, and it hit me like a couple of years ago that wait a minute, I don't have any people that 10 minutes from me in face on that I know on Facebook. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, so that's what I did in 2000. I started to retool myself, re-strategize, and that's when I started unconsciously writing my first book, my first solo book, because I started writing strategies, templates just for myself. So I had numerous yellow pads of strategies, of templates, of
Mm.
so how am I going to do this? So I started, writing even simple proposals. I started, creating templates for every single thing because I thought, listen, when I do, start to, get, not get big, but start hiring, people again, I need to not be able to do this on my own.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
had, I had templates, I had strategies, And that's really became the basis of my first book, my first solo book, Unlock the Code. Um, because I thought, okay, so how do what do small businesses do? I'm a small business owner now, but I didn't have the, as I said, no one in my family was a small business owner. I didn't know how to relate. I didn't know who to talk to, and this really why
Mm,
I kept jumping on the plane and going and seeking out those people who were business owners that could help me and could guide me, because I couldn't talk to anyone, around. It was just okay, the recession, recession, recession. And
mm,
when I traveled, it was like create your own economy. Okay, what can you do differently? How can you retool? So that's really the where I started retooling myself and creating strategies for my own business. I didn't intend to write a book, but I had like maybe 3 or 4 yellow pads just of strategies and templates and marketing ideas and all these different um, and then I eventually put them into 10. That's what my book is about. It's 10 strategies really. um, Figure out where you want to go. How do I create
mm,
my vision for this new entity that, after the recession, that it's going to come about, and decide, okay, do I want employees? Do I don't want employees? Uh,
mm,
I decided, yeah, okay, I want to, my vision was I want to be able to work from anywhere. So
mm.
when my not my new business, but when business started to come back, it was everything is going to be in the cloud before the in the cloud became everybody started using in the cloud. But I knew I wanted to be able to work from anywhere, so I started using the online resources, online hosting, to be able to if I was traveling, to see my dad or whatever it is, I could be able to work. Because sad thing is that when I traveled before, I had such a big team,
Mm.
the work would stop, the money would stop coming in because I
Yeah.
wasn't there. And that's what happened to a lot of entrepreneurs, in that because they are the sole person, when they're sick or when they travel or you go on vacation, the work stops, the money stops coming in.
Yeah.
So I knew for sure that part of my vision was I want to be able to work from anywhere. No matter what I'm doing, I want to be able to work from anywhere. So that's one of my goals. Now everybody's in the cloud, and everybody's doing this and that, and a lot of different programs are going streaming. There's a lot of streaming services and streaming clubs. That wasn't sexy in the day, but I knew for sure that that's one of my goals. I was going to be able to I want to be able to work from anywhere. um, and
Mm,
then I started getting into mindset, and because I thought, oh my gosh, recession hit, and I thought, oh, I felt myself shrinking. And so I
mm,
started doing a lot of inner work, a lot of personal development work, law of attraction work, and that really sort of turned my business around. In that, yeah, you know what, I want to attract bigger clients. And so I started getting a lot of bigger clients. And in fact, we hardly work with a lot of small businesses in my accounting and consulting practice. We do mostly financial consulting for bigger clients, and we do audits. We don't do any small clients in my
mm,
consulting. Yeah, in my consulting. And that's such a change from when I started, because I thought, okay, I wanted to do help small businesses because they need help.
mm,
And I thought, oh my gosh, how am I gonna, help these people? So that was another one of my strategies, in that is that I am gonna go after bigger clients. And
mm.
the interesting thing is that once you get one or two are going to spread the word to three and four and five.
Yeah.
So that's
Mm,
how I rejuvenated my practice, right? Because I started going after these bigger clients. they tended to attract a lot of, they brought in their friends and their colleagues, and, as they say, all of them hang out together. So I started, going after bigger clients, and that's really what, how we work now in, auditing and practice. And then, and that doesn't mean we don't work with small businesses, because a lot of people, because I started working with small businesses initially, a lot of people were still coming to me, and I thought, well, I can't work with all of them. So
Mm.
I set up a small association. We do trainings, we do workshops for small business owners. You know, and even though we say small business owners, we have people from corporate coming to our workshops as well, because they send their staff, they send their teams, and so we juggle both. Um, but for the small business owners, we do focus a lot on the trainings and the more group workshops. For the corporate
Yeah.
clients, mostly, one-on-ones, of course. So
Mm.
that is where how I rejuvenated after the 2008, 2009.
Wow. Like
It
in just
happened.
1 year. And like from 2008 and 2009, do you get a a big client in that time period after
Yes,
you do all the things? Wow.
yes, yeah. Because when I went home in 2008, it was me and my laptop,
Mm.
right? So I wasn't busy from 8 to 5. So when I
Mm.
wasn't busy, I started making notes and writing strategies. Started to remember what I was doing while I was working in corporate. How do they do
Mm.
this? How do they market? And then I went to marketing conferences. All the big names, I've been there.
Mm.
All the
Yeah.
yeah, all the seven-figure gurus you see online, I've probably been to one of their conferences, or at least done, some sort of, workshop or whatever, because that I basically retooled my whole strategy, my whole business. Um, so in 2000, I think my first big client, and which we still have today,
Yeah.
came at the end of 2008, 2009.
Mm.
And that was like a lifesaver, because
Yeah.
that, and that was a very big client, and we still have them today. And
Wow.
then another
Well,
one of
like
the
for 14 years, they still work with you.
yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
And then we started getting a lot of people that have multiple businesses, which is a very good strategy. I didn't seek them out, but now thinking about it, and I thought about it a few years ago. I thought, wow, if I had gone out, and hindsight is 2020. Um, well, not 2020, COVID 2020, but 2020. But if I had thought about it, I would have set my sights on going for business owners that have multiple businesses, because
Mm.
that wasn't something I was thinking about. But we started getting a lot of those. And so once we have one client and they have two, three, four businesses, then we get all their
Mm.
businesses, which
Mm.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not really a strategy I thought about. And
Mm.
but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you do work for that one person, and then you get all these other jobs, because they are, related, or they are the owner, or the shareholder, director, or whatever, or these other companies. We also get business from those other companies as well. So that is, one way that we sort of built it up to, where we are today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what I observe and when I listen to you, so I think like why the reason why you survived the economic crisis, because at that time, instead of like shrinking yourself or playing small, you continue investing in yourself,
Yes.
and you still working on the business. So
Yes.
like before, you maybe you work in the business, you do the task with people, and maybe
Mhm.
you get lost in all the daily work. But
Mm-hmm.
because of that time, you have more time for yourself to have some reflection on what
Mm-hmm.
the life that you want, not just the
Yeah.
business that you want, but also the lifestyle that you want to live. Because
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like people who do business, when they do business, they don't have that in their mind yet. They
No.
just think about, okay, I want to open business, I want to make money, but they don't think
Yes.
about
Yeah.
like what is the lifestyle that you want to live, and then create a
Yeah.
business that can provide you that
Around
lifestyle.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your move is so intelligent and that's very smart. And also one thing, I think that you go ahead, like at that time, you already think about working remotely, or you can work anywhere. But nowadays, like I think around 5 to 7 years, that's a trend that I see in the West. But
Yes.
like you already thought about it like
Mm-hmm.
14 years ago. That's
Yes.
something that you visualize about the future so
Yes.
far away, and
Yes.
so far ahead from
True.
other
True.
people, and
True.
that's why you can survive in the long period of time,
True.
because you have a very long vision, not just a
Yes.
short-term vision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And also one thing, um, this is something that I want to ask your
Mm-hmm.
advice on business, like people who like want to open their own business, or they're now running a small business,
Mm-hmm.
and what is your tips in order to run a business past the 10 years mark? Because nowadays, like we see business come and go maybe after like 3 years or 5 years, and in order to pass like to your level like 16 years in business, it's another story. So
Yeah.
how do you maintain, or
Yeah.
how do you keep up with that, or on the journey do you feel bored, or do you have any time that's stagnant and you feel bored and you don't want to work in the business anymore? So
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, just curious about that. 16 years is a lot.
You know, it's so funny because it's interesting you ask that question because I mean, because of the business I'm in, I do, financial consulting. Sometimes it can be very, stressful. And for the past year or so, I mean, coming out of COVID, I've been saying to my sister, "Oh my gosh, I need another job. This is too stressful." And I don't know if I think it's coming out of because COVID has, so everybody sort of, went on lockdown, and they're now coming back, and now they're coming back, they want everything now, and it's been, like go, 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 go. It's been really, that's just, but for COVID, actually, let me just put in here for COVID, because of the business we're in, and because and I like what you said, boy, because I didn't think about it then that no, I didn't think about it then that yeah, I want to work from anywhere, but I didn't think that, that was something that wasn't possible in that day. I just thought, I want to be able to work from anywhere because I want to be able to take on my laptop and go if I need to go to the beach, or if I need to go to, see my dad, or go where, see my brother or whatever. I just want to be able to take on my laptop and go. But what you just said was, very true in that we can't think, you know, okay, I just want to work until Friday. Let me see what happens till Friday. You know, let me see what's going to happen in the next 3 years. Everybody thinks, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do in the next 3 years. But at least, think of, I mean, it could happen tomorrow, it can happen next month or next year. But let me think of how I want to, how I want this business to look. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to
Mm,
be a tomorrow thing or a next week. Let me see how I
mm,
want it to look. And that's really when you said that, it hit me that, oh, okay. I did want to work from anywhere, but I didn't know how it was gonna work. I just knew that I wanted to be able to work from anywhere. But
mm.
yeah, that point just came up to me. And then, so when you talked about, past 10 years, and I think, oh, I need another job. It's been a little annoying coming out of COVID.
Oh.
because because of the work we do, um, everybody wants everything now. And because COVID was literally a year where nothing was happening, um, and 2021 and now 2022, everybody is like, yeah, we want it now, and and it's been bam, 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 go, go, go. So it's been a little hectic around here. But one good thing, and thank goodness, that because I everything is basically can be accessed online, via our servers. When COVID hit, we had no problem. Everybody just
Mm.
went home with their laptops,
Mm.
and we worked as normal. There was
Mm.
no change. I didn't have to lay off. So that's one good thing about the way I chose to work, in that let's have everything online through our servers. You'll be able to access it anywhere. When COVID hit, we just literally locked the doors. When we were in lockdown, we locked the doors, the office doors, and everybody just went home with their laptops, and we continued working that way. So I think, back to your question, I think that for those people that are either coming up to a 10-year, or they're struggling to get to 5 years or three, um, I think that you need to first have a vision of where you want the business to be, because it makes no sense that you get up in the morning and you're just going to work to plow through the day, because it's gonna be you're gonna be like on a hamster wheel. So you need to decide where you want your business to go. Figure out where you want to be in 3 years. And that's the first strategy that I wrote down on that yellow pad that became the first strategy in my book. Figure out where you want to be in 3 years. You don't have to take 3 years to get there. You can take five, you can take two, you can take one. But figure out how you want the business to look, where you want your business to be in the next 3 to 5 years. That vision is going to pull you forward, right, rather than getting
Mm.
up today and thinking, oh, what am I going to do today? You have to know where you're going to go, right, for you to be able to get there.
Yeah.
uh, and it has to be something bigger than, I'm just going to go into the office, I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to and then what? I'm going to do the
Mm.
same thing tomorrow. Well, how do you want it to look? Have some sort of plan, have some sort of vision of where you want your business to be. That's very important for those people, in the first, second, third year, to be able to pull them. For the vision is going to pull you forward, and the vision doesn't have to be set in stone. Because I
Mm.
often go between, oh yes, I wanted a big team of things, and then I think, oh, I don't want to work with anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
I don't want to.
experience the same thing.
So, so now I'm sort of between that, because I have
Mm.
6 or 7 on my team, which is good.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
because if you do, and again, if you do want to grow, and some people don't, and that's fine. Some people just want to be by them,
Yeah.
by themselves. And now the internet has allowed that. Then it's completely fine, right?
Mm.
It's completely fine. But you have to at least write that down. That I want to be able to work by myself. I want to be able to make 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures by myself.
Mm.
And you may not know how it's going to work, but the internet
Yeah.
is there, where every majority of the stuff is automated anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, right now we don't have a videographer in front of us. You know what I mean? Everything is automated. So, kind of figure out how you want the business to look. Where do you want to go? Do you want to work for, do you want a large team? Do you want a small team? Do you want to make a million? Do you want to make 8 figures? Do you want to make 6 figures? That's fine. If you just want to make
Mm.
6 figures or 5 figures, that's
Yeah.
completely fine. Because
Yeah.
you don't have to. Everybody doesn't have to make $1 million or 8 figures or 9 figures. That's fine if
Mm.
you want to make 100,000 or two hundred
Mm.
thousand. So, but at least write it down.
Mm.
Decide, do you want to have a team? Do you want to work on your own? Do you want to have an office? At one time, I didn't want to have an office because I said, oh my gosh, I got to pay rent.
Yeah, that's true.
Whoa. So, and now I have both. I have a home office and I have an office. And
Mm.
then still my team, because we went home in 2020, majority of them are still working from home.
Yeah.
So, and it's sort of good to have the hybrid model, because, people have lives and families. We discovered in 2020, I don't
Yeah.
know what no one wants to go back to work, right? But yeah, but you have to sort of figure out where you want to go, because if you're struggling in your third year or your fifth year or even your 10th year, um, do you still want to continue doing what you want
Mm.
to do? Do you want to still have it, and do you want to do something else? Because I mean, and that's, I guess we're going to get into that soon, because I still have my corporate clients here in this business, and then I have started another business which you know about, Joy. So figure out, what you love to do. Do you love to do that? Do you love to work with corporate? Do you want to work with small business owners? Figure out and tweak it according. I mean, you can do what you want to do. There's no
Mm.
rules as long as they're not illegal. You should be able to do what you want to do. If you want to
Yeah.
work from home, then you can,
Mm.
right? But I think the first thing is to figure out your vision, create a roadmap, right? You know, in corporate, we talk about the mission and the vision, right? Small business owners, figure out where you want to go, figure out your roadmap, right? Um, you can create a business plan that goes on one page, right? What clients do you want to work with? Just make it a one-page document. What clients do you want to work with? How are you going to do your marketing? How are you going to get the word out? Now in the age of social media, that should be a little easier. Not like me pounding the pavement with my business cards and my brochures, but it should be a little easier for you to do marketing, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube. It should be easy enough for you to do marketing now. If you don't have the money to pay for a marketing professional, you're going to have to learn, the tricks of the trade, right? So it's a toss up between time and money. If you have the money, you can pay someone to do it. If you don't, you have to invest the time to learn about how to do your marketing, how to get the word out there that your business is here and you're open for business and these are your services. So it's a toss up between the time and the money. Um, Also, for business owners, I think a lot of us, and this is really why I delved into the personal development up front. And in 2008, that it didn't start my journey there, but it started that's when I became certified.
Yeah.
Because I was always interested in personal development. I think really, because as you as the CEO, you have to keep your head on in these times. So if it's in the morning, if even if you have that kind of job, that business where you're going, even in the morning, you get up 5-10 minutes, listen to some personal development, get your head in the game, as they say, get your head right to be able to go out there and attract the client. Because I
Mm.
find that, if I'm sick or if I'm down or if I'm feeling, the clients don't come, or
Mm.
money doesn't come, and it's because of me. you know
Mm. Yeah,
so
that's right.
you as a CEO, yeah, you need to keep your head in the game. Even if you're doing the numbers, as I'm doing the numbers, I still need to get my head right in the mornings. Do a little exercise in the morning, you know what I mean, get your you know get
Mm.
get your, if you meditate or whatever it is. But I have found that, no matter what's happening around, if things are not coming in to the business, it's because of me,
Mm.
right? So you need, as the CEO, as the owner, you need to keep your head up, keep get your professional development on,
Yeah.
meditate, exercise, whatever it takes for you to keep that energy up, that positive energy up, because that is going to attract the clients to you.
Mm.
Um, so there are a lot of little things that I use, and I realized that, wow,
Mm.
I'm the bottleneck here.
Yeah.
What do I need to do to get things moving? And this happened a few years ago when I decided, oh my goodness, work is not getting out. What the heck is going on? And I thought, okay, because I'm doing so many other things. I'm on
Mm,
boards, I'm on commissions, I'm on this and that. And I thought, no, so I had to hire two high level people that
mm,
to be able to push the work out, because in that if that didn't happen, work wouldn't be getting out, money wouldn't be coming in, because I'm here, going to a board meeting, or here going to a conference, or traveling. So you have to be able to invest in a proper team, right? Because I think it was Laurel Langmeyer, the millionaire maker. I think she wrote the book, The Million Maker, that talks about the type of team. You can't get to $1 million, for example, if you don't have a team. There's no $1 million hermit, right? So you have to be able to have a proper team beside you, to be able to lead them, to be able to build that business. Other than that, it's going to be you as the bottleneck. No work will be coming in, and it's going to be like a push against a rock, right? So you have to be able to have that proper team with you. So that's one of the things I encourage you, if you are first year, third year, 10th year in business, get a proper team for sure. Get your mindset in order every morning, because every morning it's gonna, you wake up and it's gonna, oh my God, recession is coming. No, it's not coming. What have you done to, um, sort of block out what's happening? People say don't listen to the news. Yeah, I listen to the news sometimes, but I'm not bombarded by it.
mm,
5, 10 minutes, I know, kind of know what's going on, but I'm focused on the right mindset. I need to be able to do this for the business. I need to be able to do that. Um, get your head right. Get a proper team. That's so important, because other than that, if you're sick, as I said, if you travel,
mm,
then the money stops,
mm.
right? Unless your business is totally online, um, then the money would stop. So you need to have a proper team behind you. You need to have your mindset. You need to know where you're going, how you want your business to look, what kind of lifestyle you want. As I said before, I want to be able to travel, you know, travel or work from anywhere, and voila.
Yeah,
So that's really what I would encourage
yeah.
people in the third year, fifth year.
So another thing I think is important too is about how to finance your business. And I know that now you start training that on your round table events,
Hmm.
on how to do proper finance for the business. So can you share
Hmm.
more about that? How you came up with that idea of the workshop, of the events that you now doing, and yeah, and your plan on how to push that workshop forward.
Yes, yes. So as I talked about in 2008, when recession hit, um, I had to go home. I packed up my office, went home, and I sort of went back to the drawing board. I created strategies and templates, and I got serious and learned how to profitize my business. When I decided to put this out there, it was it was something that has been nagging me for a while, and because I've been online for quite a while, I noticed that there was a lie going around in the entrepreneurial and business world, and that lie is that a lot of gurus out there are teaching you to focus only on your revenue.
Mm,
So you would hear that, oh, I had a six-figure launch, oh, I had a seven-figure launch, oh, I had an eight-figure launch. And in my mind, it was, oh, wow, you made $10 million. But that $10 million is on the top line. And when I did my research, I realized that a lot of people were trying to impress you, right? A lot of
mm,
people were trying to impress you with the top line figures. And I thought, and I started writing articles, and I thought, wait a minute, it's not what's at the top, it's what at the bottom, what's being left over. And so when I did my research, I realized that there were a lot of people that were making millions of dollars that were taking home less than 1%, right?
Mm,
You make a million and you take home 100,000, or you take home a 10,000, or whatever it is, because there's so much that goes into the launches. You know, you have to pay affiliates, you have to
mm,
pay assistants, you have to pay designers, you have to pay this body, you have to pay, and because I've been in the online world for so long, I thought, you know, something is wrong. You know, everybody can't be making $1 million, and like there's a whole set of people making 10 million, and there's a whole set of people making nothing. So I thought, no, I mean, this is not right. So I thought myself, but you know, there's a lie going around. You know, the revenue numbers mean nothing, right? It's really about what's on the bottom line. Um, that's important. So I started. Um, I made a decision to in 2020 this started coming out. I could not exactly, because this is what we kind of do with our corporate clients, some of our corporate clients. I needed to bring this out to the entrepreneurial space, to small business owners. And so in 2020, I started, trying to figure out how am I going to do it. In 2021, it became, I began to clarify it a little. Um, and I decided, in end of 2021, 2022, let's start putting it out there, and we do a free roundtable, as you talk about the profitize roundtable. Let's start talking to other small business owners, women. I focus on women, um, business women, and let's start talking about profit rather than revenues. So
mm,
that is how this all came about. It's been nagging me for a while. I mean, when I went back, I have articles from 2015 and 2013 where I'm talking about, listen, guys, it's not about the revenue, it's about the bottom line. What are you
mm,
doing? What are you
mm,
doing? So I it sort of, I sort of, I got clear in my own mind, how am I going to bring this to from the corporate world to the entrepreneurial space? And
mm,
that's how the profitize movement came along. Profitize your business movement came about. And so I do a profitize roundtable every month. I've been doing it for 2022 every month, and it has been sort of shaking up everyone, and everybody's been seeing light bulbs into, wow, I never thought about this before, and oh wow. And I remember one round table we had. There was a lady that she sent me a DM on LinkedIn, and she said to me that, oh wow, I just realized that my um, I've been offering my services too cheaply because I cannot
mm,
cover my expenses. There's nothing left over. So um, this is how the profit. I'm so excited about the profitizer business movement. It has been it has been a journey, and because I do this for some of my corporate people, I want to bring that to the women entrepreneurs.
yeah.
Um, and it has been a journey. It's quite exciting, and I love the fact that a lot of people are now realizing that, oh my goodness, I may have to change my pricing. I may have to increase my pricing because I can't live on a $97 product, or I'm gonna have to bring in thousands of people to be able to, you know, live. So I'm really excited about it, and
Mm.
yeah. So this is the profitize business movement. You're gonna be hearing a lot more about this, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about the pricing and the finance, do you mean that in order to set a price, you need to know like how much you want to take after all the cost in the business and running the business, how much you want to take, and like set goal for that number, not set goal for the revenue. Is that the idea of that?
Yes, because think about it. You hear everyone, oh, I'm a seven-figure business owner, I'm a six-figure
Mm,
business owner, I'm 10-figure business owner, but how much are you taking home? And what I share with my roundtable attendees is that um, the business owners in retail know about this. Us as service professionals, we just think, okay, I'm going to offer my price at 997, or I'm going to offer my package at $1,500 or whatever it is. But the people in retail know about this because they get all their costs together and then they add on
mm,
their percentage markup, and that is what they offer you the price at,
yeah.
right? Us as service professionals, we just pull figures from the air and think that's going to be fine. I'm going to pay my assistants with that. I can pay my subcontractors. I can pay my graphic designer. And then at the end of the day, you're left with zero, right? Or very close to zero, right? Because we're not working, consciously working out that, listen, I gotta pay Tom, I gotta pay who's my graphic designer, I gotta pay my lawyer for this contract, I gotta pay my web designer, I gotta pay rent, I gotta pay utilities, I gotta pay this, that, the other. At the end of the day, what am I left with? Right?
Mm,
So when we do the profitize roundtable, we build out the structure of this is what your revenue figure is going to be for the next month or for the next quarter or for the next year. And then from that revenue figure, you then decide, I'm offering this product at 1,000, I need to offer it at $1,500, right? Or I'm offering this product at 997, I need to offer it at $2,000, right?
mm,
And with that, I need to get 10 clients versus 200 clients,
mm,
right? So we build out
mm,
the structure. It's a simple structure, but it's a powerful structure because at the end of the day, when everything is taken out, when you get your revenues and everything is taken out, you know that
yeah.
you're left with a profit figure that you can work with, that you can survive on, that you can save money on, you can put savings
Yeah.
for the business, you can pay your taxes on. So this is how we build it up. It's a simple structure, and because we only have an hour in the round table, so I do a simple three figures structure, and that's why some of them keep coming back because when they go home and they think about it, they think, huh, I did not include this, or I didn't include that. So they come back on, and then they get the structure more refined, so they can decide, okay, for July or for August 2022, I'm going to be making 15,000 revenue or 50,000 or a million or whatever it is. I mean, I had one lady, she buys and sells businesses, so she's talking about millions of dollars, right?
Mm,
So it can work for any business, and this is why I focus on women entrepreneurs, women in business, because I think the women need some help. And I'm not saying you women, I'm saying us women, because I needed it. If I had this before, I would have been miles ahead of where I am now, because no one ever taught this to me. Um, it was really just part of the structure I was using, when I was building my business, and it's the structure that we use with, corporate clients that I'm bringing to the women entrepreneurs. So this is why I'm really excited about the profitize your business movement, because it really helps women to get clear on what products they should be offering. Should they be even offering this product, right? Because it could help you cut out a lot of wastage, right?
yeah.
Yeah. It helps you to narrow down your ROI. I talk about a 3-to-1 ROI. Are you
Mm,
are you putting in $1 to get out 50 cents, or are you putting in $1 to get out $3 or $5 or $20?
mm, yeah.
Right. So we talk about that on the roundtable. What is your ROI? Are you
Mm,
working with clients and companies? that will give you a 3 to 1 minimum, 20
Mm.
to 1, or are you working with those companies that they're annoying? They keep adding on stuff to your contract. They don't want to pay. They, you know what I mean? So we talk
Mm.
about prestigious thinking, attracting the right type of client, working out your ROI. We actually work with actual figures, work out your ROI. Um, you know, get all your expenses, everything together, and then add on your markup like the retail people do.
Mm.
This is what you need to bring in September, in August, or for the quarter. And for this quarter, I'm going to be offering this service at $5,000, and I need 10 clients, right? So
Mm.
it's a simple structure, but it helps them to focus on what services they want to offer at what price point, and then what are they going to be left over with after they pay all their expenses? What kind of profit figure are they going to be working with? So we start with profit and we build up to
Mm.
revenue, and then we expand into what services you need to offer to be able to bring in that revenue.
Yeah. So I think the one last question, so it's about financing between company finance and like business finance and personal finance. Like when you
Mm.
started your business, did you combine two in one?
Oh,
Like you combine like personal expense and business expense in one place, and then what point you need to separate those two and how you do it, how you
yes.
separate the two.
Yes. So when I started, I had a company when I started. So I incorporated my business before I started operations. So that's one important thing. But of course, when you start, and it's just you in the business, everything is not necessarily commingled, but everything is yours. You think about that. So for business owners, it's really important to try and keep it separate. Um, yes, you must have a separate bank account for your business. You must. Um, the financing, if you need startup capital, they advise you to set aside 6 months of funds or a year of funds before you start. I didn't do that. I, as I said before, I was an employee on the 31st of July, and on the 1st of August, I became a business owner. I
Mm.
didn't do that. So I use a lot of I had set aside retirement funds and savings, and I use a lot of that to be able to get me through until I got my first few clients. And as I said, the good thing is when I left the company hired me back as a consultant. So I had that. But other than my savings, I use my retirement fund to be able to build this business and market the business and get it out there. I don't advise that.
Mm.
I don't advise that. But that's how I did it. And as banks don't give loans for startup necessarily, right? You would have to find startup funds. It's some whether it's friends or family, or if you're a big company, you can go to one of these angel investors.
Mm.
But for smaller companies, for smaller businesses, you need to have some sort of funds to start, even if it's an online business and you need a good laptop and a good Wi-Fi, you know, a good graphic designer. So you're gonna need
Yeah.
funds, whatever kind of business you
Mm.
need, you have, um, but you need to have some sort of fund somewhere, or sell something.
Mm.
you know
Yeah.
if you have 2 cars, do you need 2 cars for now? Why don't sell one, right, and get
Mm.
that going? So and that's one interesting, really good thing about business. Everybody has a different story and to how they start, how they got funds, how they sold their car, how they sold their motorbike to be able to get
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mm.
But everybody has what's important is that yes, do need the funds for that, but you need to know how to use those funds properly to be able to, you know, at the end of a year when the funds run out, do you have the clients, to be able to survive after the money runs out. So even if you do sell something or get funds from families, angel investors, whatever, you need to have a plan for those funds. How are you going to
Mm.
market the company to be able to get that out? How are you going to run the company? Are you going to have a CEO? Are you going to be doing most of the work, or are you going to have a team? So a lot of the things you need to start, getting out of your head onto paper.
Yeah.
Write it down. What kind of company you want, and it can evolve. Sometimes I say, oh, I just want to, be by myself, and I think, oh no, I can't do everything by myself. I need a team. I need a good team. So you need to sort of write it down as to, how you want your business to look. Goes back to how you want your business to look. Always, first thing, vision. Figure out where you want to be, where you want your business to be in the next 3 to 5 years. What do you want to be doing? Do you want to be lying on a beach with your laptop? We've seen the videos, we've seen the stories. Or do you want to have an office with a team of 10, 12, 20, 50 people, right?
Mm.
So it's for you to decide how you want to build your business, um, how you want the business to look, and it will evolve. It will
Mm.
evolve. It will change from year to year, but you just have to go with it. That's the good thing about entrepreneurship. You just have to go with it, and you can change. As Jim Rohn say, you're not a tree. You can change.
Yeah.
So, if next year decide, I don't want any employees, okay, so what are you gonna do?
Mm.
How are you gonna
Mm.
change? Yeah.
Mm.
So, that's a good thing about being in business. You can change it how you want it to be.
Mm. Yeah, that's right. I think I feel the same way. Like as a business owner, you the person who design the life and the business that you want.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's all the things. Those things you make the decision. You don't
Yes.
wait for anyone to tell you what to do.
Correct.
So
Correct. Yes. Yes.
okay.
Oh, the boy get knocked off. The boy get knocked off, or did I get knocked off? I think I'm still on. Can anyone hear me?
You hear me?
Oh, there you are.
Do you still hear me?
Yes, I hear you. You got knocked
uh,
off here. That's
yeah.
okay.
So it's the editor interview today, and I want to share your some information, your contact, so that everybody here can reach out to you. If you're watching this interview and you're interested in Sandra's strategy for finance your business, join her on the roundtables on her LinkedIn, and contact and feel free to contact her if also you want to do service like accounting service with her. You can text her on LinkedIn and her website here. So Sandra, thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us today, and you share a lot of knowledge and experience that very valuable to us. And for the
You're
last
welcome.
thing you want to share for all the audience here or people who still watching now, do you have any advice or you have anything that you want to say at last?
So thank you for the interview, boy. Lovely to speak to you. When we connected, what was it, a month or two ago? I would just build the instant connection. So I'm so grateful to
Mm.
be here. And last words that I want to share with your audience is, it's not the top, it's the bottom. So it's
Yeah.
they can
That's
they can
funny.
they can message me about that. But it's not
Mm.
the top, it's the bottom. It's not the top line we're looking for, it's the bottom line, right? So it's
Yeah.
not the top, it's the bottom.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sandra. That's a very short message, but very important when doing business. And I think that's one of the key in order to have business go through recession and the crisis, like you described. And
Hmm.
with your
Yes.
experience, you share how you overcome that. I think now we all have, the role model on someone who
Indeed.
already did it, and we can copy and learn from it. Thank you so much, and have a nice day. Bye,
Thank you.
Sandra.
Thank you.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.